Welcome along, fellow time travelers. This time around, we're going to check out the history of Laurel Canyon. Before I begin, please like and share the show and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. Now let's begin our journey.
1, 2, 3, 4!
In the late 1960s, Laurel Canyon was a verdant landscape, a lush, winding enclave in the Hollywood Hills, where the air carried the scent of eucalyptus and the promise of creative freedom. Narrow, sun-dappled roads twisted through hills, where craftsman bungalows and log cabins perched precariously on slopes, their wooden porches spilling over with laughter, cigarette smoke, and the strum of acoustic guitars. This was a place where bohemian spirits, songwriters, poets, hippies, and dreamers of all sorts found a home, forging friendships and sparking inspiration that would birth some of the era's most iconic music. The canyon's magic lay in its intimacy, its natural beauty, and its open-door ethos, where neighbors became collaborators and late-night gatherings fueled a cultural revolution. The canyon's homes were as eclectic as their residents. The hills were filled with low-slung bungalows with redwood siding, their wide windows framing views of oak-dotted hills. Roofs sloped gently, adorned with moss from winter rains, while porches held wicker chairs and ashtrays overflowing with cigarette butts. Inside, rooms glowed with candlelight. Walls draped in tie-dye tapestries were plastered with protest posters. Log cabins, like one once owned by a silent film star, stood out with their rugged charm. Hand-hewn beams, stone fireplaces, and floors creaking under the weight of record players spinning folk rock LPs. The scent of patchouli mingled with marijuana, drifting through open windows, while the faint clink of wine glasses punctuated conversations. You see, these homes weren't just shelters, they were studios and salons and sanctuaries where creativity thrived. Nature was the canyon's heartbeat. The leaves of California sycamore, valley oak, black walnut, and big cone Douglas fir trees swayed in the breeze, their sharp, minty aroma blending with the earthy smell of damp soil after a rare Los Angeles rain. Wildflowers, in shades of gold and purple and red and white, dotted the hillsides, glowing under the California sun. At dusk, the sky turned a soft pink, casting a warm glow over the canyon's curves, while coyotes howled in the distance, a reminder of the wild just beyond the bungalows. The sounds were a symphony, birds chirping at dawn, the hum of a Volkswagen bus climbing Laurel Canyon Boulevard, and the constant strum of guitars echoing from porches. On quiet nights, you'd hear the crackle of a bonfire, or the soft murmur of voices, talking about movies and music and magic and love. You see, the people of Laurel Canyon were a kaleidoscope of free spirits. Young musicians, many in their 20s, flocked here for the cheap rents, $100 a month for a bungalow, and the promise of freedom and friendship. Many were long-haired bohemians in bell-bottoms, denim jackets, and beads, their eyes bright with idealism or hazy from LSD. Some came from military families, adding a layer of irony to their anti-establishment anthems, while others were runaways, poets, or artists escaping the mainstream. And if you were fortunate, you might have even met a lady who was the daughter of a duke or a radio personality who interviewed his brilliant neighbors. You see, there were no celebrities here, just neighbors, songwriters scribbling lyrics on napkins, guitarists practicing chords, and singers harmonizing under the stars.
This is the life, isn't it? Totally.
Producers and session players mingled with groupies and mystics, all drawn to the canyon's lack of pretension. It was a place where a nobody could become a somebody, where talent mattered more than fame. Life revolved around connection. Days began with coffee at the Laurel Canyon Country Store, a ramshackle hub with creaky floors and neon signs, where locals swapped stories over sandwiches. By afternoon, someone's porch became a stage, with musicians passing a guitar, testing new riffs, and singing songs that they wrote themselves. Evenings brought gatherings, sprawling, chaotic affairs in bungalows and their backyards. Picture a lawn, lit by string lights, tables laden with cheap wines, bread and cheese, and joints passed hand to hand. The air buzzed with conversation and laughter. Record players spun the latest vinyl, filling the night with jangly guitars and soaring harmonies. These weren't just parties, they were rituals, where friendships deepened and ideas caught fire. Relationships in the canyon were fluid, intense, and creative. Neighbors became collaborators, lovers, or both. A songwriter might crash on a friend's couch, co-writing a ballad as stars twinkled above until the sun rose. Couples formed over late-night talks, their romances immortalized in lyrics about love in the hills. One bungalow might host a jam session, where a guitarist and a singer, strangers just days before, crafted a melody that echoed the era's hopes. These bonds weren't just personal, they were musical alchemy. The canyon's intimacy meant ideas flowed freely, with no gatekeepers or studio execs to stifle them. A riff born on a porch could become part of a hit by week's end, played at the Troubadour to a sweaty, cheering crowd. This environment birthed some of the most creative music of the time. Folk rock emerged from the canyon's blend of acoustic roots and electric energy, with songs that captured the era's idealism and unrest. Singer-songwriters penned introspective ballads, their lyrics raw and poetic, reflecting the canyon's soul-searching vibe. The music wasn't polished, it was real, born from late-night sessions where a bottle of wine and a joint fueled inspiration. Love songs and psychedelic experiments poured out, each track a snapshot of the canyon's spirit. The lack of hierarchy meant everyone contributed, from the guitarist in a battered Volkswagen van to the poet scribbling in a candlelit attic. But the canyon wasn't all utopia, don't you know? The scent of marijuana sometimes gave way to harder drugs, and the open-door ethos sometimes invited darker figures, drifters, or cult-like groups that cast shadows over the golden glow by 1969. Yet even the challenges fueled creativity as musicians channeled turmoil into their work. The canyon's magic lay in its contradictions, a place of peace and chaos, where nature's serenity met human passion. It was a community where a stranger could become a friend in the days when those things happened quite often, and a song could become part of a movement and a moment between two friends or strangers or neighbors who met in Laurel Canyon could affect the hearts and minds of music fans all around the world. So what do you think of Laurel Canyon in the 1960s? If you lived in California at the time, would you live in a place like that? You know I would. Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Kindly remember to like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Please check out the links below to learn how to support my research and productions. This channel is sponsored by CampfireShop.com. Can you do me a favor and check them out and buy some awesome candles, herbal supplements, teas, and more? Kindly be kind to all of our fellow Earthlings, and please do not harm them. And do yourself a favor and go to a local shelter and adopt a cat or a dog or both. You and they will be very glad that you did. Until next time, I wish you safe travels on all your journeys.